I think I just invented a new resin technique. Rug tufting has been all over the internet all of 2025. It looks super satisfying and I could not ignore it anymore. But instead of doing rug tufting, this is a resin channel and I may have invented resin tufting. No, it's not a thing. I'm inventing it right now and it is a thing now. So the very first thing I had to do was set up the tufting frame, which already felt slightly dangerous because I've never done this before. But honestly, it was way easier than I expected. Just followed some instructions, screwed a few things together, and suddenly I had a frame. No tears, no chaos, no existential crisis. So I'm choosing to be optimistic about this whole new hobby that I've accidentally adopted. Once the frame was set up, I plonked it on straight on my desk, which is also where I do my resin work. So yes, drawer no longer closes because the frame is there, but honestly, that kind of feels on brand at this point. Next, I stretched out our primary tufting cloth and pulled it nice and tight on the frame because apparently that's important and I'm choosing to trust the process. Then came the frantic scramble to literally grab a marker or anything that I could use to draw a circle with. This is the circle, which is basically the board, the wooden board where the whole piece is going to live or die, and I basically drew a larger circle on my cloth because I want this to go over the edges, and also it's always better to go extra than not have enough, especially when you're cutting things and praying. So the vibe that I'm going for this piece is pretty abstract but also very intentional. I'm doing a color on color, which means black yarn, black resin, same color but totally different textures. That's the whole point that I have in my head, and I do have a very complicated reference image on my phone, but let's be real, I'm just simplifying it and just making some shapes on the cloth, and whatever is left blank is basically going to be the future resin territory. And honestly, I am beyond excited that we're inventing resin tufting right now. I mean, yes, you can absolutely call me delusional. I'm like the person who goes, yes, it'll work, you know, why wouldn't it? And I'm sure I can do it, but I realized something. A little bit of delulu is basically just bravery in disguise. It's probably my toxic trait, but it also is the reason why I actually end up trying new things. Okay, time to get the big guns out. And by big guns, I mean the only gun, the tufting gun in this case. And I'm not even kidding when I say this, that this immediately makes me feel powerful. Power! You know that feeling when you pick up a power tool and suddenly you're like, oh, I could build a house. I did a little tiny test run on the side and it's looking good, which obviously means I'm an expert now. So let's go straight in. Now, I did have a little issue where the yarn kept coming out of the gun. Turns out that was because I hadn't fully pulled it out from the yarn situation. Guys, I don't know any technical tufting terms. So it kept unthreading itself and I had to keep going, tugging it back in. So you'll see me doing that a lot initially, and that's just me figuring out how to not get tangled in my own supplies. And I know people use proper like yarn binders and setups, but around here we don't do things properly. We just wing it. It takes a lot longer. It is mildly chaotic, but it works eventually. Okay, so that is not looking half as bad, you guys. Like, it's gonna work. I'm happy it's gonna work, and honestly it's low-key so fun. I am definitely getting better as I go. Like, that was a mess. Like, if you see on the back, it's a mess, and then I was able to get a lot of like straighter lines as I kept going. It's gonna work. I'm excited.
I have a job, it's actually quite fulfilling, though my hairline is thinning. I barely do anything else. I read self-help books, I do meditation, walks in the woods, a new destination.
That That was so incredibly satisfying. Okay, I think I'm done with the tufting, even though I could honestly keep going. I'm gonna have to watch a couple of YouTube videos to see what to do next. But I think the next step is that you kind of cut a few of the longer threads and apply latex glue on the back of this. But like I said, I have to double check. Guys, I haven't done this before, so figuring it out as we go, but I am so chuffed and I cannot wait for all the resin to come in. Quick word of warning, do not think you can apply latex glue with your hand because it's super runny, and once it starts, it drips everywhere. And by the time I realized, it was already too late for me. So if you're doing this, maybe grab a little brush, just don't use your hand. I mean, look at this mess, truly impressive. Anyway, I'm gonna deal with this cleanup later. We're gonna leave this whole thing to dry and pretend like it was all part of the plan.
Nobody panics, because it's all part of the plan.
Okay, glue is now dry and we finally have our tufted thing that we can take out of this frame. And guys, I know this doesn't look like much right now, but please trust me, this is a very trust the process situation. I'm telling you guys, and I'm also telling this to myself. So I'm gonna start neatening this up a little bit because obviously right now it's looking quite unruly and wild and even feral. And I've got this rug shaver / rug trimmer situation, which is absolutely terrifying, but I'm going in anyway just to level out this chaos. And this bit is just a rough tidy I'm doing. I'll do like a proper cleanup later once we've survived this part. Also, a quick disclaimer, which I should have said right at the beginning of this video, but this is not a rug tufting tutorial, like at all. This is me attempting a rug tufting for the first time, and then I'm going to do what I do best, resin over it. So if there's any rug tufting pros watching, please be kind in the comments and also help me. Like, why do I have these little white freckles of the cloth showing up? I mean, it doesn't feel normal, and if you know why, please let me know. But right now it's time to mount this onto our wooden board. I have also taken the time to trim the back a little bit and make it as humanly flat as possible because I want this going on the wood and I want this to be nice and flat and not wobbling like a bad cafe table. So I haven't glued the sides down just yet. I will deal with those later. For now, I'm just doing another little tidy because the next part is going to be resin, and if my tufted edges aren't behaving, the resin is going to turn into a hot mess. And there's also a lot of like fluff going everywhere on the cloth, and I don't want fluff inside my resin. So I'm using a masking tape to basically be like a lint roller. That's what I'm doing and it's working, so I highly recommend. And then one more tweak before pouring the resin, I'm going in with some Mod Podge on the cloth, and this is just one, to make sure that the fabric is properly stuck down, and two, in my head it's going to act like a little bit of a primer moment for the resin. Is this scientifically proven? No. Are we winging it to the maximum level? Absolutely yes.
What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, time for some real talk. I am questioning a lot of my choices. So the Mod Podge is still drying and I have concerns, and I feel like I'm not sure if I went with the right approach. So my concern is still that the cloth where the resin is going to go is still not as flat, and you and me both know resin needs the surface to be flat. So that's a big concern, which makes me think that I should have gone with an entirely different approach and maybe cut out each of these panels, then put them on the wood and then poured resin on the wood as you do, instead of pouring resin on the cloth. So I feel like that might have been a big mistake on my part. I have considered ripping this whole thing out, again, cutting out the tufted portion, going back in again, but I'm thinking, let's just stick with what we've done and see if it works. I mean, we're all learning. It might be a fail, but then we'll try again better next time. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with the plan A, and we're just going to find out if it works. That's it. I'm committing. Then I finally decided to deal with the edges, hot gluing them, sealing them, and I had another revelation.
Go ahead, honey. Let's hear it.
I realized I probably need to build a dam for the resin because I want to pour the resin on quite thick, and and thick resin needs containment. And obviously, because this is cloth, no tape is going to stick to fabric. So instead, I'm engineering a neat little glue gun edge, and I'm hoping for the best. And because my brain literally never rests, I then went ahead with a black marker and colored the glue black so it doesn't show up through our resin. Again, winging it. Like, what did I tell you guys? This project is all about the vibes and problem solving in real time. And finally, it's time for some resin. Yes, this is a resin channel, and we have finally arrived at the resin portion of today's chaos. I'm using Jade Action Official's Fast Cure resin, which is their 4-hour demold resin, and this is a very intentional choice. I want a thicker resin, and I want it to set sooner than later, because I feel like the longer it has, the more opportunities for things to go wrong. So thank you so much, Jade Action, for sponsoring today's video, and honestly, this entire episode of madness. Links and discount codes are in the description if you're in the market for some resin. So I'm just laying out some and then gently nudging it with a popsicle stick. And because this is cloth and not a slick surface, the resin is going to need some guidance. And I love that because that gives me control, which is very rare for me in the resin world. So this is working. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a moment here because this is working, and guess what? Even my little hot glue dam is holding up. Sometimes the chaos rewards you. Now I'm gonna babysit this for a little bit because bubbles are definitely gonna come up from that cloth, and I wanna catch them before they ruin the vibe. And we're gonna leave this to cure, which means, ta-da! Sky makes his entrance. And he would like to remind you to like, comment, sub, because we are absolutely pushing boundaries on this channel, and he wants to make sure that you're serious about it. It's the next day, the resin is fully cured, and it is time to sort this piece out. And by sort, I mean there is still a lot of work to be done, and you thought we were done, but we're not. I'm trimming the bottom and then hot gluing the edges, and then I'm going in with some black gesso because the dam that we made meant that the resin didn't flow over the sides, and I obviously want to address the sides because I want this piece to look pretty from every angle when it's up on the wall. So I'm going in section by section with some Jade Action Official's black UV resin. I'm brushing it on and then curing it with the UV light, and honestly, this worked like a charm. I'm so proud of myself during this whole video because I have done so much problem solving on this project on the fly, and I'm very proud of it. Now, one final trim to level everything out, and then if you know anything about me, you know what comes next.
Here we go again.
This is black, so gold comes next. I'm using Jade Action Official's chrome marker, and I'm going over those beautiful lines where the resin meets the yarn, where the soft meets the hard, if you will. And honestly, this is it. This is how resin tufting was born. I mean, I had a crazy idea in my head. I had no idea what to expect, and somehow it is even better than I imagined. I mean, I am low-key obsessed. The texture, the contrast, the warmth. I mean, the soft next to that gloss, it just does something to the space. And if you know me, I am all about the texture, so I am absolutely obsessed. Resin tufting, you heard it first on this channel. I mean, what started as an experiment, I feel like it's definitely going to end up being something bigger, a whole series maybe. I mean, honestly, episode 2 is already brewing in my brain as we speak. So show this some love in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. If you've enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you will like these too, so go check them out.